Hi, if you found my channel, then you've officially reached rock bottom. Listen very carefully, girl. No matter how much weight you lose, whether it's 10, 20, or 50 pounds, you're not going to be happy unless you change your mindset. Hi, my name is Erica, and here on my channel, I'm a little fucked up, but that's okay, because we're all a little fucked up. So let's talk about weight loss. To be honest, I am going to give you some tips today about how I was personally successful on keto. Just prefacing, I am 5'8" and I'm currently 211.2 pounds. I started off, my heaviest weight that I know of, because I didn't get on the scale for like 5 years, is 254 pounds respectively. Honestly, girl, whatever your goal is, that's none of my business. I'm just telling you what my goals is. Okay. I gained the bulk of my weight in my tumultuous relationship, which I made a video about. It was my very first YouTube video, which you can find here. I went from 171 pounds and my highest, I think back then, was 210. The weight that I gained in that relationship is the same weight that I am today. But after that relationship, when I was chronically sad, I gained an additional 40 pounds, which I then lost with keto. So I've come full circle, which is fine. And to be honest with you, no matter what weight I was, even when I was 171 pounds, like, I was obviously happy that I lost the weight and I felt sexy and I looked good, but in my brain, like, nothing was ever really enough. And that's really why I decided to make this video today, because although, like, yeah, do I still have a goal weight and have I been maintaining my weight for the last 3 years? Yes. But like, you have to fix up here first before you like reach your goals, because you're always going to find something wrong with you if you don't address the deep-seated issues that you have, because keto or any other diet is not going to save you. And I am not a nutritionist. This is just the information that I've gathered, and I'm explaining it in the best way that I possibly can for you to digest. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Girl, you still fat. And bitch, I know. Girl, the first thing you need to figure out if you're going to try to lose weight is, who are you fucking trying to lose weight for? For me, I had a pivotal moment in my young adult life. I believe I was, what was I, 25? I was 26 years old, and I was literally getting out the car to go to TJ Maxx. And I kid you not, I got out the car and I was walking around TJ Maxx to go shopping, and I was out of breath. And I was like, girl, you got to lose weight. So I went from 254 pounds to 211.2 pounds, pretty much in the span of 3.5 months. And I know that you guys clicked on this video for keto tips and where to start and all that stuff, and I promise I'm going to get to it. But the reason why I'm making this intro to this video is because, honestly, girl, you, like I said, you're not going to be happy until you realize that intrinsically you have to fix your mindset. You're gonna lose the weight on whatever weight loss plan. I've tried them all. I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried freaking Whole 30, I've tried veganism, I've tried vegetarianism, I've tried intermittent fasting. I've tried a combination of all of them. Keto, honestly, is my favorite diet or lifestyle. It makes me have like the most optimal energy, and it also helps my skin. I mean, girl, like, I'm wearing a little powder right now, but anyway, so I like keto for a variety of reasons, and there's a lot of debate. You can go to another video to talk about the discourse on the keto diet, but today we're going to talk about why I like it and what I did to be successful. You can also try other diets, and even if you watch this video and decide to go on a different route, I really just want to make this point very, very fucking clear. First thing you need to do when you realize that you need to lose weight, or that you want to lose weight, because those are two different things, is, one, as you are, even in your fat state, is enough. You don't have to really impress anybody if you don't want to. Are you losing weight for yourself? Are you losing weight for your boyfriend? Are you losing weight for your mom? Are you losing your weight so your aunt, who every time she sees you, she's like, girl, you swole, which, bitch, I know. Are you losing weight for those people? So let's get into it. So I realized that I had a problem with food when I was about 16 years old. Back then, I'm not one of those people, unfortunately, for the sake of like relating to people. I wasn't always overweight. I actually was pretty average my whole high school and into college, and I gained a little bit of weight in college, but I decided to start working out and running. But in my first video that I talked about where I left my 9-year relationship, it was after that relationship where I gained the bulk of my weight, and then during I gained probably like 25 pounds. And if you go way back, the first video I posted on YouTube was about my Weight Watchers journey, which is really funny because I'm still talking about weight, because girl, like, we got issues. As a person who's always been kind of healthy and like going to the gym and like working out, I realized that being 250 pounds wasn't conducive to something that was healthy for me, and I decided to take action. So back in 2017, the whispers of keto were kind of like circling around on the internet, which I don't know about you, but you have a thought in your head, you stumble upon something, and all of a sudden you just see it everywhere. It just blows the fuck up. But I digress. So I believe I was going to a Christmas conference, and pretty much I had to try on like a new dress. My manager at the time wanted us all to like look really nice, and I looked in the mirror, and girl, I couldn't believe how big I had gotten. And so like I said, right now I'm 211 pounds, which, I mean, whatever. But I looked at myself and I was like, you gotta do something else. Like, this is not you. This is not who you want to be. And I decided to lose weight. So the first 10 pounds that I lost was actually just going to the gym 5 days a week and eating healthy, and bringing a huge gallon of water to work every day, which was oh so fun. I need to stress that keto is a metabolic state. It is not some magical like keto food that you're gonna have that they're marketing now, which I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Don't buy the keto food that you see in the grocery store. Just don't do it. If you're gonna do keto, do whole foods. I think the only thing that I bought that is like quote unquote keto is keto ice cream. That's really the only thing that I buy from the store that's marketed as keto. Anything else is pretty much a ploy to get your money. So just don't buy that stuff. It took me several weeks to look into the diet and see if it was actually something that I could actually do. And it all sounds good. You're going to eat a lot of avocado. Bacon is okay. You pretty much just stay away from carbs. And there's just like all this information. I recommend going on certain keto groups, but honestly, there's the keto police that, depending on the group that you go on social media, is going to drive you insane. So honestly, like, find support, but just like protect your mental health. Anyway, you done? You good? She's good. I digress. So going on the keto diet, you pretty much have very low carbs. You technically can stay below 50 net carbs, but the sweet spot is below 25. Or some people do below 20 net carbs. And that pretty much makes you have to substitute a lot of things like your flour. So I recommend almond flour and coconut flour if you're into cooking, which will pretty much like help you have keto treats such as keto breads and fat bombs. Revamp your whole pantry. So you have to get rid of like all your sweets. I recommend stevia, and don't get stevia in the raw because it spikes your blood sugar. And like I said, keto is a diet that is altering your metabolic rate. So the thing with keto that people who have misconceptions about it is that it's all about like not eating bread. Like, that's part of it, but eating carbs and sugar in the form of like white flour and potatoes and all that stuff, like, that's only one side to cutting down your carb intake. You have to make sure that your insulin level doesn't spike. Truthfully, I would recommend, like, you can eat those things like bacon and heavy meats and like really fatty meats, but like your main go-to is going to be your avocado. If you're into coffee, you can get your heavy whipping cream. Will replace your creamer, and that's just to get extra fat in. There's other research that you can do to fine tune your keto diet experience. I'm just giving you the tips and the tools that you might need to change your mindset, and basic information that you'll need to succeed on the keto diet and keep the weight off. So for me, I bought all the things. So I bought, like, you know, the pepperoni, the ground beef, the eggs, the avocado, all that good stuff. And essentially, if you don't like to cook, then maybe keto isn't the diet for you. But honestly, any diet or any lifestyle change that you go through, you're going to realize very quickly that the sooner you let go of all the processed shit that is in your pantry, the better. So I would say go on a app that will calculate your macros. So your macros is pretty much the breakdown of your fats, carbs, and protein that translate into you know, your calories. You need to figure out what your base caloric level. So if you were to do nothing all day, what is the optimal amount of calories that you'll need to be consuming in order to you know, keep alive, essentially, and have the appropriate nutrients. Then you'll have to calculate your caloric deficit, and all the apps. There are many apps that you can use. I personally use LifeSum. I think there's like MyFitnessPal, which I don't really like the interface of that, so I don't use it. Essentially, you're gonna have to calculate your caloric deficit. And this is, like I said, is for any diet. And like I said, keto is a metabolic state. So all of this might sound familiar to traditional dieting, which it is. All you're doing with keto is modifying the foods that go into your body to fuel. You'll come to a point where you deplete your glycogen storage and your carbohydrates low enough to where your body will start producing ketones, and those ketones will be used to fuel your body. And essentially the fat that's on your body will be used to fuel yourself instead of like external carbohydrates that you intake. So what to expect when you first start on the keto diet. Look up keto flu, which is pretty much where your body loses electrolytes if you don't intake enough water and minerals. So I definitely recommend when you're drinking all this water, put a little extra salt on your food. They recommend bone broth, which I've only really done one time. And I've only gotten the keto flu once. So spoiler, I've done keto on and off for the last couple years, just because I like the other benefits of it, such as like how my skin looks, okay? And not necessarily to like keep losing weight. Like losing weight is important, like that's why we're all here. But honestly, there are other benefits to keto besides like losing weight, okay? So furthermore, what was I saying? Oh yes, so once you are in the metabolic state, you're going to maybe perhaps experience keto flu. And then what was a symptom for me was insomnia. And I used to chalk it up to if your metabolic state is changing to where you're using the fat stores in your body. I had a lot of fat, so I had a lot of energy. So you have like this influx of energy, like the brain clarity, all that stuff is real, which like when I was looking up keto, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, all that stuff doesn't matter. But honestly, like the influx of energy and the wanting to like get out and go is really good, especially if you, and I was at the time in my corporate job. It's good to have that energy, so when you come home, like you're not wanting to like take a nap if you have other responsibilities, and you'll have the energy to work out. Some key information that you'll need to know about keto is you're gonna essentially lose between 5 and 10 pounds the first week that you're on keto. All of that is your glycogen pretty much depleting and your water weight disappearing into the ether, okay? And I am not a nutritionist. This is just the information that I've gathered, and I'm explaining it in the best way that I possibly can for you to digest, okay? In addition to that, once you lose that initial 5 to 10 pounds, you'll start losing the regular 1 to 2 pounds a week. And as long as you're consistent, you don't necessarily have to work out. I worked out 5 days a week, and that is not a joke. I was always in the gym from the end of 2017 into 2018, from pretty much November to March. And like I said, I started off in November doing regular diet and exercise. And then on January 1st is when I started my keto. So I lost like 30 or so odd pounds between January and March. And everything was good. People started to notice that I was losing weight, and it was a great time for me. The pro tips that I would want to say about the keto diet is once you figure out how much macros you should be eating, typically for me, I needed to up my fat intake in order to have significant results on keto. So I thought I was eating enough fat. So that was like putting extra mayo on my burger bowls, or doing like extra sour cream in the morning. With my eggs, I would put like sour cream and like have what they call it bulletproof coffee, which is pretty much like putting butter, which don't knock it until you try it. And you do what you want on your own devices. I am not a health expert. Like, you know, this is just my experience on keto. But if you put a little bit of butter with heavy whipping cream into your coffee and blend it, it feels like you're drinking a latte. And then you can eat a lot of your greens, your salads, your healthy vegetables, and you can have a little bit of fruit like raspberries and strawberries. And then your protein. So if you start off with a lot of fat in the morning, you can kind of eat regularly throughout the day. So I had to up my fat intake to have significant weight loss on keto. You're really not going to see real results on keto until between the 10 and 12 week mark is when I started like losing weight like crazy. Like I lost initially 15 pounds, and then I stalled for like 3 weeks, and I was like, what the fuck? But all that means is yeah, so I ran out of space. But anyway, so essentially when I started losing weight after my stall, and this is just being honest because I was obsessively getting on the scale every day, and that's a whole other situation. But anyway, I realized that I was losing at least like half a pound every day. And I did that for about like 2 weeks. And so it just kept going and going and going. So the main thing with keto, and this is just a pro tip, once you start getting in that sweet spot of losing weight, and like I said, a healthy amount of weight loss is between 1 and 2 pounds a week. But I don't know. I think like as long as you don't feel like faint or sick or anything like that, I feel like the trajectory of my weight loss felt healthy to me, and it seemed okay. If you feel differently, then by all means just up your calorie intake. It's not that hard. But essentially, once I realized that I was in the sweet spot, and once you realize that you're in the sweet spot of losing weight on keto, don't stop. That's my main tip. Like, don't stop until you're at the goal that you want to reach. Because for me personally, since this is about mindset, once you get out of the mindset of like being focused on your goal, whether that's keto or any other weight loss, that's hard to come back into that mindset, because like you realize the gravity of the work that it took for you to get into that place. So that is my tip. And so essentially, yeah, I lost 42, almost 43 pounds. So have I fluctuated? Have I lost or have I gained any weight back? To be honest, no. Like I pretty much will gain and lose the same water weight that I lost in the beginning of keto 3 years ago. So right now I'm 211. Sometimes I'll, like, if I eat terribly for a week, I will probably jump up to like 117 217. Yeah, so I'll be 211 and then I'll go up to 217 and then I'll go back down if I like start eating vegetables and clean eating and everything like that. Also, whether to cheat on keto or not. So the things I would used to cheat on with keto would be small. So I would have a little bit of carbs in the form of like some tortilla chips if I went out to eat. I would have like a glass of wine. Also with keto, if you're over the age of 21, if you choose to drink, you will get very, very drunk on keto very, very fast. And by very fast, I mean one drink, and I pretty much can hold my liquor pretty well. One glass of wine on keto will have me tipsy. So, you know, just a forewarning. I don't think you should be drinking in excess in general, but just if you're a casual drinker like I am, like I like to have a glass of wine a couple of nights a week, that's totally fine. But if you're in the mode of weight loss, it's a lifestyle. So just, you know, tread with caution, whatever feels good to you. But yeah, with this video, I mean, honestly, since I've tried all the weight loss diets, I just honestly want to say that I've tried them all. I've tried the veganism, I've tried Whole30, I've tried, I've done keto, I've done all that stuff. It's all the freaking same. All of it is changing the food and energy that comes back into your body and leaves your body and all that good stuff. And are you like working out? Do you have to necessarily work out on keto? Not really, but I chose to. All of it's the same. The reason why you gain the weight back when you go on these diets is because your mindset hasn't shifted. The reason why I've been able to keep the weight off on keto, where, you know, the naysayers will be like, you're just going to gain it back, it's not good for you. It's all a mindset. Like, you know, my favorite thing to eat is kettle corn. Okay. I love kettle corn, which is basically sugary popcorn. I love that shit. Like, I'll eat a whole bag. But I'll eat that. And then, you know, I'll, you know, get a grip and eat normal healthy foods. You know what I mean? So it's all about, like, you're going to hear this in every weight loss video, it's all about balance. I mean, but it is. To not gain the weight back, realize that, like, you might have a binge eating problem. You might be chronically sad. And I hate saying depressed, because people who are actually depressed like have actual chemicals in their brain that make them depressed. But girl, you might be chronically sad and you might need to go seek some therapy. I mean, I'm just saying, weight loss is not a magic pill to happiness. Like, you know, like I said in my video where I left my ex-boyfriend, like, I really had to work on myself. I had to date myself. I had to appreciate myself. I had to realize that whether I'm 250 pounds or, you know, 160 pounds, you know, am I happy with myself? And if the answer is no, then girl, like, you need to do some soul searching, because keto or any other diet is not going to save you. You save yourself with your mindset. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I talk about more topics like this on my channel. Please subscribe if you really enjoyed the message that I had for you today. I have an Instagram, it's nice and airy 21, and I also have a podcast that I do with my best friend once a week. We do unpacking a variety of topics in terms of, like, sex, how we move about the world as women of color. So it's really great. It's called Unpacked Filth. I'm going to leave a link in the description. And yeah, I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.